Okay, I think YouTube is live. Let me switch on my camera. Let me confirm a minute to see if people on YouTube are following already. So I'll not waste time. Give me a moment, please. I'm trying to check here. This is AJLM I'm talking about. AJLM, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, your face is shining, sir. It's my sister camera. Oh. They had to borrow one or two LED lights. We are live. When you see we are saying it's live already. Oh. So I don't send anybody. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening from around the world. Good evening, our friends, our enemies. We don't have enemies actually. We are good people. Welcome to ConTech Nigeria first webinar for the year. ConTech in Nigeria, founders, friction, and the future of construction. Let me show you one weird story about this webinar. So part of our plans at ConTech Nigeria this year is to have monthly webinars. I mean webinars that come every month. This ensures us to have time to plan for it well, and we have a number of us that are busy with other things, so we don't want to disturb them and just space them properly. And my plan was to have this guy. I don't know if some of us know him from AEC Tech Ops. Um, what's his name again? Alista. There is Alista to come and expose the school behind landing remote contact jobs from around the world and the likes. And unfortunately, I don't know. I think something's happening in the US that none of us, probably because we are in Nigeria, something's happening in the US. Because apparently, after I sent him a message and he said he was in the US, I messaged I don't even know Bagan. I can't pronounce his surname. He runs last week in Contech, and it was like he's also in the US. Is he him is in Australia. Then the CEO of Saudi ConTech, my good friend, Fiaid, said, Taiwo, I'm busy in the US. I was like, what's happening in the US that nobody's telling us about? This is what we are talking about. They're always leaving us out. So if the whole ConTech ecosystem is in US, what's Kenny, ADLM, Peace, and Joshua doing with us here? Hey, Kenny, answer me now. I'm asking, ADLM is laughing, but I'm asking an honest question. I'm what? Yeah, no issue, no issue. I'm actually very hopeful. I know the Content Connect happening by I think May this year in Paris. I know a number of us will be there. I'm looking at ADLM already now. So ADLM is looking all fresh and ready to storm Paris with ADLM. I'm looking at Peace too, looking at Joshua and like that's by the way. So welcome everyone and welcome to the conversation we've been waiting for all week. The conversation between us because now, as I said in my earlier post on LinkedIn, I'll be at the side of the table and the founders, the real founders, they are this side of the table. You see, long before now, I used to have this stupid thing, not stupid thing, she has a good one. I want to be a founder. But lately, I've been seeing what Kenny is going through. I'm rethinking, I'm rethinking that decision. Honestly, I'm rethinking that decision. But it's all fine, and that's why we are here. So I'm here with the students, content enthusiasts, tech enthusiasts, professionals, aspiring founders, content founders like yourselves, and even investors. And you guys are there. Today, we want to talk about you. We want to talk about the friction you are facing in the whole content ecosystem, what is pushing you, and the future. So before we start, I'll just start with. I want us to start with this nice introduction, just a short introduction of ourselves, what we are doing, and nothing more than that. So, ladies first. Let's start with Peace. Peace, can you start with introduction? Kelly thought I'll start with him because his face is the biggest face here. But unfortunately, I'm not to sly people. So, Peace, can we have a short introduction from you, please? Peace. Peace, you are muted if you are talking. Okay, okay. Peace has requested that she speak later. So, let me continue with Thomas. Thomas, I want a short introduction. I want to know Thomas. I want to know what you are building. Just very short introduction. Good evening. I see you are building a pipeline problem because apparently, thanks for meeting Kenny. And I mean, okay, I've known Kenny for a long time, but thanks for meeting him again because I think the meeting in 2023 changed everything. I've always had a thing for tech in civil engineering. I think civil engineering. Yeah, what you said, DLM? Hey, hey, whoa. So I just like my mom like this now. So I was saying Thomas is building like a pipeline we need in the space, a pipeline that takes people from the classroom to, and now we're not talking about the site. Oh, the site is still involved, yeah, but before it's always about from the classroom to the site. So now we are taking people from the classroom to VS Code and Visual Studio. ADLM, the king of Visual Studio. So ADLM, let's have your introduction, please. Yeah, thank you, ADLM. So our viewers are having a little issue, which I'll just give us about a minute to fix it up. Just a minute to fix it up. Some of our viewers are claiming they can't hear some of the speakers, they can only hear me. So I'll fix it up now and we'll continue. I apologize for that, please. Shit. Please, our users at home, I don't know if you can see us now. Can anybody confirm if you can see and hear the speakers now? I think we don't have any problem here. You can only see me. Yeah, so I observed I missed up something here and I'll be fixing it now. Those capture. Okay, can you hear me check now? I think I've done one new setting. Right? Imagine. And we ran tests for these things and it all came out good and now you're having this. Interesting, interesting. So the same issue. Because on my screen here I can see everybody and I should be streaming from here. God, if you can see it.
See every other person.
Yeah, so it's not meant to be like
Probably
that.
him. Yeah. Maybe you are missing out something about sharing your screen. Maybe you are sharing a particular, just your camera. You're not sharing
I think it's
the
on.
window. As
I'm streaming directly on the net.
okay, yeah, it's working now.
Now.
It's working now.
Okay, we can continue, I believe. Oh, sorry for that short. So I think it's working fine now. Can someone confirm for us, please? Somebody in the let me check the chat
Yes.
box. Okay, it's working fine now. Sorry for the short for that short drama. Sorry. For our viewers that are not from Nigeria, well, it's not a Nigerian thing. It's more of a personal thing, a mistake on our parts, and I hope we'll continue from here. So I think we are done with Thomas Joshua's introduction, ADLM introduction. So let's go straight to the man himself, Kenny De Ayobade. Chief Kenny, can you give us a short
Uh,
introduction about yourself?
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Kehinde Ayobade. Like I always tell my friends, I prefer being called Kenny. It's shorter. You lose less calories of energy when you call that one. And I'm the founder of KS Innovation and ConTech Nigeria. What we do at KS Innovation is basically we look for ways to solve food problems that construction professionals face when carrying out their daily work. So our systems across solving problems in architecture, in engineering, all aspects of engineering, and as well eventually to the construction space. And so that's what we do. We create enhancements for AutoCAD and Revit apps, Revit plugins, AutoCAD plugins, and now we are venturing into standalone apps and softwares to solve big problems that has been captured from other points that we observe amongst professionals within industry. We do problems within construction.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kenny. Thank you for that introduction. To also add, Kenny, I've been saying it earlier, probably because of transition. Kenny introduced me to ConTech, introduced me to everything ConTech. He sold it to me in 2023, and ever since then, I've carried it on my head like whatever it is. During the period of our technical issues, some of our viewers they stated that they did not hear Thomas Joshua introduction and ADLM introduction. So I'll be requesting that you just give us the introduction again, very fast, please. Um, Thomas Joshua, an introduction. Thomas Joshua and reconstruct all, please. Joshua, you are muted if you are talking. You are muted, please. Okay, I think we can hear you now. Joshua, I think Joshua, you're not talking, you're muted. Okay.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So, my name is Thomas Joshua. I am the founder of We Construct Hub. And what we are building at We Construct Hub is currently we have built and we are still working on it a construction marketplace to ease the stress with traditional procurement. And we're also building a community where we can transition the knowledge in the industry directly to the students so that even students while in class they know what the industry itself feels like. So that's what we are building at We Construct Hub.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas Joshua. So I'm confused now. I have Thomas Oluwatosin Joshua. Which is your name and which is your surname? So I won't be
Okay, you can just call me Joshua.
Joshua. Big Josh. Big Josh. Yeah. I think I prefer that too. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for the introduction. Interesting thing they are doing there as we consult of. So my Oga, ADLM Studio. ADLM sir. Your introduction again. We apologize for asking you to do this again. Please. Your introduction again,
Okay,
sir.
no
And
problem.
your camera,
So,
sir.
okay, okay. Um, Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Adidelapo Cousin. I am the team lead and founder of ADLM Studio. Basically, what we do at ADLM Studio is we build solutions for quantity surveying problems, related problems. That's from quantity takeoff to cost management to project management and everything quantity surveying and construction cost related. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ADLM. Yoruba will say Shukilobo Omoge. ADLM is the next contact guy I met after Kenny stopped. I met ADLM 2024 during the Contact Nigeria 2024 conference, and those guys, both of them actually been my biggest motivators, my role models in the context space in Nigeria here, and I'm proud of how far they've come. Both of them have they've been digging it, touching together, and now they're even making the money. So it makes sense. I don't know if Peace is available for introduction now. Peace, our only woman here.
Yes, I am. Good day, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, Peace.
Sorry, I'm still on the road, but I can just take this. I'll soon be getting home now. So, good
Okay.
day, everyone. My name is Peace. I am a civil engineer and the founder of the company. So, personally, I believe that the future is Africa. And I am on a mission to make real estate investment in Africa great. We are doing this through content, community, events, and community. And that is exactly what we're doing for companies. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, ADLM. Joshua, Peace, ADLM, and Kenny. Okay. When I was speaking with these guys, I told them that this webinar will not be formal, not formal per se. It will be more like friends, sitting down together and having a wonderful time chatting. As I told Kenny, you are free to cry because I know Kenny has a lot of things to say. I know Kenny personally. I work with him, so I can speak for Kenny very well. Kenny has a lot of things to say. But today, I won't be the guy he calls around probably 2 midnight to talk about plants. I'll be the guy with the rest of the world, with the audience. Listen to him speak out his mind, talk about contact, talk about the struggles, and talk about the future he envisions with contact. So who would I start with? I have a list of questions to ask. And for our viewers around the world, if you have any question at all, please drop in the comments box on YouTube and on LinkedIn. Our community managers will take the questions, they will share it with me, and I can ask our founders. So if you have any question whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask. So the first question, I don't know what I should ask. Let me ask ADLM because ADLM starts from the word A. So ADLM, you can unmute yourself, please, and you can switch. As I said, it's a friendly chat. It's just guys talking.
Yeah,
On a normal day, we
no
are,
wahala.
we are meant to be in the same place. Let's say you, Kenny, Joshua, and Peace. Let's say now give me better money, so we just get one place where we say just get drinks, set up camera like this podcast I listen to by Metrics. I know just have a good time. But now no great give me money. That's why we are doing it like this. So ADLM,
I'll
Very,
totally love that.
very strong.
ADLM. So I don't want this question I want to ask now. I don't want you to polish anything. I want you to come as raw as you can. I want you to come as raw as you can. I have my context story, and when I start sharing my context story, now everybody start crying because it's basically built on the fact that I went to leave the trenches. I went to leave the trenches, but that's by the way, sha. So for ADLM, what made you start? What gave you that drive to say, okay, I'm starting this context startup? Or even when you started, did you know you were doing something in the context ecosystem? We want to hear the story of why you started what you started at ADLM.
But go for Gani. Okay.
ADLM.
Let's see. So basically, I started out very early. Let's say at my during my final years in university. It's not like I even knew anything was called ConTech. Basically, I started out to save our profession, or let me say, because I was lazy. Let me first use that word, because I was lazy, because I saw the way coin surveying was being done, the local
Hello,
way, and I felt like,
hello.
why
So
would I do
I
this thing for the
totally
next 30
apologize.
years
I've
or
put
the
in the
next
webinar
40
is by
years of my life?
7. Everything went
It
messed
would
up.
be
I'm in the
boring
middle of
and
it now, but I'll send you the money.
all of that.
I'll
So
send it now.
I decided to basically explore other
Yeah,
methods
that's
and
why.
newer
No, I
methods.
should have sent
At
it.
that
I
time,
want
I
to
think I
get
already
job. That's
studied
what
in
matters.
BIM because all of my background and all of that. So I used to
It's a
apply
long story.
right
If you
back at
can hear the guys are talking
2015,
on that, I'm not even following
2016.
well.
And
What did you?
I
Should
felt,
I just
okay, how
order?
can coin surveying be practiced,
Let
or
me just
what
order it.
best
I'll
way
order
can
it. I'll order.
coin surveying
But you
be
said you have to go to
practiced?
the gate. What do you now use?
And started seeing QS softwares, then practice, then basically I started out
You
with
sure?
teaching QS software. That was how we
I
started
apologize,
out at
please. You sure?
ADLM. In my final year, I started out with
Please, I
training on how
apologize.
to use, because we found out that the problem was, yes, there are softwares available, but even many points of view, both students, lecturers, and all of that in Nigeria here don't have what it takes. Like, they don't have an idea of what the softwares are basically. So we started out with training and passing the information that there are better ways to do quantity surveying than what we're used to. That's going to take off and all, that there are softwares to do that and all. We started out with that. Then over the years, we started refining what we're doing. We're using international softwares. Then so like even these international softwares, but they're not solving our problem in Nigeria. We need Nigerian solutions to Nigerian problems. That was basically what we needed at that point. And say, okay, let me start to code. Let me start to build all of these things myself. And that was how I started out. Then I call those days the dark ages, because those are the days before I met Kenny. And felt like I was the only one doing what I was doing in Nigeria then. Like, so nobody is doing the same thing. Nobody's building solution. Alpha. Then I met Kenny, and it's all been good. We've shared ideas. I think we've created several things. Like the Revit plugin we created for quantity takeoffs still sounds like magic to many people, and we're trying to make it better over the years. So that's a little bit of how I started. Though.
Wow. I think there's this. I don't know if it's an adage. Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, am I right? Is it necessity or the mother of invention? But something
All
causes.
of quotes by Taiwo.
It's not by Taiwo. I saw it somewhere. And yeah,
Yes, you are right. It's a quote. It's
yeah,
a
so
quote.
necessity is the mother of all invention. And in truth,
Invention, yes.
I really pay big respect to guys who see a need to do something, and and they are working towards it. Very few people actually have the balls. I call it balls. Most people see problems and they run. Honestly speaking, I'll throw a quick jab at Kenny. Even when I joined ConTech, Kenny, I even up to now I call Kenny Mr. Nigeria. I come inside Nigeria because Kenny is all about Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. Me, I used to be like the ordinary Nigerian tech guy. I wants to pick up the skill, get a remote job, earn in dollars. Kenny can do that. Kenny can do that tomorrow if he wants to. But Kenny is all about we have to build for Nigeria. We can't afford this software. We have to all these boss will come outside. I'm like, Kenny, just calm down. I went to check his son. Maybe I'll see Tinubu or Buhari there. He's not there. I was like, what's this motivation for? And a big one for you guys that are doing it. So thank you for that eye-opening talk about ADLM, ADLM Studios. We appreciate greatly. Um, so who should I? I think Peace is available now. Peace, let us hear your story. Peace, let us hear your non-police
I
story.
think I should.
What is a Peace?
All right, so confession, I'm not a techie. So I
Okay.
hear ADLM Studios say he builds tech, he does the coding. I know Kenny. Kenny does everything coding and he's a tech boss. I'm not a tech person.
Yeah.
I'm more of storytelling, I'm more of communications, I'm more of people person, right? So for me, it's for me, it was a legacy thing. So I come from an entrepreneurial home, right? My grandmother was a business person. My father, after her son, that's my dad, was also in the business line, right? In also the construction industry. So my father was a salesperson in the construction industry. So I'm like, okay, this is a legacy thing. It's been two generations and I cannot just stop it here. So I have to take it forward. Then I said, okay, I was going to build in the industry. I studied civil engineering by the way, and I said, okay, why not do something that is not the regular civil engineering, contractual construction stuff?
Yes, ma'am.
Why not think of something that plays to your strengths? Why not do something that is something you would enjoy doing, find your ikigai and all? And that's how I am here within Open House.
Yeah. Wow. I shall know. There's this tenacity I see in the way Peace sells open house. So I can't say I know Peace personally. I think I've met you once, and that was in ConTech Nigeria 2024 conference. But before then, I've been seeing a lot of posts on LinkedIn from you. Sometimes you tag Ogunleke Damilare. Damilare was my friend from school too, and I see this energy. Peace put into this. I think there's something that you find among these content guys, these guys in construction, civil engineering, and the likes that um that that begin to build tech. I think there's this energy. I don't know where you guys get the energy from. I see this energy. Peace did this LinkedIn consistent thing last year. I can't remember how many. I don't know if it's 100. I can't remember Peace. Can you remind me of the?
I'm currently on the 240 something. So
Yeah,
my plan is just to be out there talking about it, just to
yeah,
be
yeah,
shouting
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Yes.
You, I knew,
And I'm
I
learning
knew when you started.
from Kenny. Kenny was once, I don't know what happened to Kenny. Let me drag his leg out. He was once there on LinkedIn every time talking about what he's doing. Yeah, he's still doing it now, but there
Yeah.
was more fire than Kenny. Kenny, what's happening?
Ah, we'll get
We
to
are
that part.
bouncing back. We are bouncing back.
Kenny, your camera, please. I don't understand why Kenny is not showing. Let's not see Kenny. Let us see Kenny. So I don't know. It's not good to work with someone too much. Yeah. Well, part of the story of Kenny not being so much on the internet for some time last year is needed to work. There was a time Kenny was juggling ConTech Nigeria and KS Digital together. Some days I'll just pity this guy. This guy does not sleep. I mean, does not sleep. When you call Kenny 3 o'clock midnight, Kenny will pick call. And this same Kenny, you call him 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he will pick the call. Oh, I know if you do am. Yeah, I know I have my own my body, but Kenny is top notch. Thank you for that piece. One of my favorite professors in Nigeria, Professor Ndubuisi Ekwekwe, he used to share one Igbo adage. I like Professor Ndubuisi Ekwekwe. He writes so well and he is an accomplished professor. He used to say something around if the something around because the lions and the wild animals they don't have anybody to write their story. It is the hunter that keep on taking only the hunters that you get to see their victory stories simply because those wild animals they don't have whoever it is to write their stories because apparently plenty hunters have died in the bush, like the wild, probably the lion has killed them, but nobody is writing the story of the lion. It's only the hunters who have succeeded that keep on writing the story of and I killed him. So that's why it's actually very important to actually put your story outside. Because if you don't write your stories, nobody on earth will do it. Nobody likes you more than yourself. Thank you for that piece. I want to do Kenny last. Mr. Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so as I said, don't polish anything. Don't give us diction. I want it raw. Raw. Why? What's your why to start saying reconstruct up?
So it all started when when the idea came was when I was in 100 level year. I think second semester. That was when we started takeoff. That's our measurement. And I liked the way they were doing it. I was like, there should be a better way to do this thing now. But now, I thought about it. I was not close to anything tech. So the idea just died. So 200 level, 300 level, I started looking at other problems we face as professionals in the industry and I identified procurement. Now, by default, if you ask literally any construction professional, what is the current material price of this? For the most part, they don't know. Apart from the ones that probably they asked yesterday or they asked today. They don't know. Why is that? Because there's no data. And now that data started from when I was in 300 level. I needed to prepare a bill. I started calling, messaging people. In fact, the so-called professionals were like, they are not sure of the prices. And I was like, this is a huge problem. So from then, my attention now diverted to the data aspect. But I made some research about how much it will cost and everything, and the idea did not leave my book. So I think then 400 level second semester, during my 6 months break. My 6 months break, I did my CWES at Ministry of Housing in Alausa, but I was not really going regularly. So most times I was just at home, chilling, doing nothing. So I was bored. Then I read this one of Peter Alabi's book, where he talked about how he started his betting company.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
started with a newsletter. He started with a newsletter so that we know if people are actually interested in sports betting. So I felt like, okay, to start a newsletter is really nothing. They are free subscription for newsletter.
yeah.
So I started with that, sending out material prices monthly. So with material prices, I started getting inquiries about, okay, what's the current material price? And I noticed that, okay, this is something I can work on. So from then, I started bootstrapping. Trust me, getting funds is another very funny thing. So just gather. You do anyhow. The developer will tell you, this is not good. We need to pay subscription. But you know that we just have to do it like this. There's no
Yeah.
money coming from here. So we just struggle and everything, and we're able to beat the marketplace. And at least now we have about 6 materials there, 6 major materials: reinforcement,
Wow.
cement, granite blocks, and wood, with
Wow.
updated material prices that you can buy, at least for now, anywhere in Lagos.
Yeah.
And I also remember that when I was in 400 level, to get industry knowledge was not quite easy for me. You have to call professionals to explain things. So in building the newsletter, I also started building, for now it's still a WhatsApp group, where we talk about construction in general, knowledge. We bring in professionals at intervals to just give us their own 2 cents about how the industry is, so that at least to an extent, everybody is not left out about how the industry is. Earlier, I just started.
Wow. 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 Unpolished. Nice. Unpolished story. You see, okay. Since we are, as I said, it's just discussion among friends. On some days when I feel bad about studying civil engineering or going to science class at all from secondary school, I used to wish I had gone to the commercial class and probably just do accounting or banking and finance and in UBA, doing something, wearing shirts and suit up and down and doing all those things. And on some days when okay, it's too far off, I bring it down to in construction. If I'm not doing civil engineering construction, I think something I would have loved to do would be quantity surveying. I feel there's opportunity for technology to actually change that space. But yeah, I think I was talking with ADLM sometime last year, and he was sharing the challenges that they faced in this space. So I was like, okay, be careful what you ask for, be careful what you ask for. But yeah, I appreciate what you are doing there, Joshua, and and I know you're just starting, Sha, because you seem young. I think you seem younger than this ADLM level. The Kenny, they have old people face here, but look at you looking fresh and all. So you have been so far, and yeah, I'm part of the reconstructed community. If you have your community members or your community managers on the call, you can ask them to put the group link in both LinkedIn and YouTube for people to join your community, and they should be on par with what is happening there. Thank you very much, Joshua. So I'm not even calling you have off camera.
I'm the next person now. Let me just on my camera now.
Chief Kenny. Oh, Kenny and I have a very sweet, good story. So some days ago I saw this post on WhatsApp. Like if I later make I tell me say my na luck. We go fight like mad. We go fight because I can relate to almost half of what Kenny is about to share. But it's good for him to share it himself. Kenny, I been no tears, no tears, I mean. I know.
Yeah, me, I'm crying. Like you said, if we don't get old, it's just more money that we need now. All of us will look.
But I like crying now. I like crying now. But Kenny, you have the
Anyways,
floor.
then thank you very much. I think our colleagues here, they shared very fantastic stories of how they started, and I think they're all unique stories we get. For me, if I'm to summarize why all of this started, I think the crux of it would be that is that frustration. Is that frustration of not seeing Nigeria on a global, how do I put it? Not seeing Nigeria represented properly globally, especially within this space where we are construction. You get, so I think every other thing I've done so far can be expressed through this facts. It's just my own reality. I feel Nigeria is not well presented, is not well represented across the world. You get, so, and so even to look at how it all started, you know, like ADLM shared the story. It's always from your own personal experience with the industry or with the profession. Is it that there's a kind of frustration you have, and then you felt, okay, there can be a better way to do this thing. So that's how mine started as well. As a structural engineer, I figured out that, come on, I spent so much time generating drawings. It's just annoying. You get, you just have like a 5-story building and it's taking you weeks. And then the pressure comes from project managers, pressure comes from contractors. How fast is running about that drawing? You're still doing like this number 6 beam detail or the number second floor slab detail. It's just, it's amazingly annoying. So, and then I discovered that, okay, I could learn certain skills that would help me to automate my work, help me make my work faster. I'll speed up my work basically. I learned how to write programs in Dynamo for Revit. That's computational design, that's visual programming. I could use visual programming, that's Dynamo, to at least speed up some of the things I was doing with my work. And then I graduated into learning Python. And then I saw that, okay, I can combine all of this knowledge, all these tools I've used to automate my work into something called a plugin, right? A plugin for Revit. Because I saw white guys across the world doing stuff like that already. I felt that, come on. I was trying to figure out, okay, why is it that we don't even have anyone within this region doing something like that, or at least competing on that global stage? So let me even try and see how I can combine all of these tools and then make a plugin out of it that everyone across the industry could use. So, and I felt, okay, if I give it out for free, I think it will help people understand that, yes, Nigeria can actually be represented globally. We can actually create something for ourselves, something we can call our own. And then you can see I'm just talking about Nigeria, because I have this, I don't know, I have this strange connection.
Nigeria, as I said.
I have this strange connection to this country. I feel that we can make Nigeria great from where we are. You get, everybody gets so many sectors, right? But where we are, construction is still taking back seats. But all of us here, founders here, we can create something, we can create our own our products and make it compete globally. So for me, I felt, okay, that plugin basically was called Construct. The Construct plugin basically for structural engineers, but that was my domain. I was building because I wanted to solve domain problems. And I was using it for myself at first, and then I discovered that, come on, I'm not the only one facing this problem. I'm very sure many others will be facing the same problem. And I shared it with my friends. And when I shared it with them, they were like, wow, Kenny, this thing is saving me time. I was like, okay. I see there's a kind of demand for it. And I graduated towards, okay, let's put it on a global platform. That's also the App Store. That was my goal for 2023. I used the entire 2023 to achieve, to pursue that goal. Because Autodesk decided to frustrate my life. Because for one full year, they did not put that on the App Store because we were just putting out one error or the other. They now released one new version of Revit. And then I said, okay, I have to make sure I update the plugin to that new version. It was frustration throughout because I thought I was going to just do it within 1 month. It took me approximately 11 months or 12 months to put that app on the App Store. And when I put it on the App Store, guess what? It was what blew my mind. I just knew that there's a demand for this thing. You get me? I made it free basically, but I got enough information to know that I can create a startup out of this. Guess what? I think if you check now, they have over 1,500 downloads of that particular plugin. So that gave me the idea that there is demand, there's a market, and then we can leverage that market. It's an opportunity, right? So that made me decide to start up the company. The company already existed, but basically we are not really making money from it. So the free tool that we first released, but now we wanted to start making money. And because we had gathered data, we had seen that, okay, there was enough demand. now decided to create a platform where we can sell products that architects will need, engineers will need, and the likes. So this is just the summary of the story. But one thing I usually don't like talking about is the problems that we faced along the journey. It's a very funny problem. There are very funny stories I can share here, but I know it's going to take a lot of time to do. But I would love to share this kind of stories when we have tangible results. You get, you get. But if I start sharing it, to take too much time.
I know. I don't know you. I know you very well.
Yeah. So one thing I can say about how I started, like a summary of how I started, like this, I said at the beginning, is that there's this desire I made to put Nigeria on a global stage, and I want to do it from where I am. I want to do it from the industry where I belong, from the profession where I am. You get, so if I can contribute that in my lifetime, I'll be glad. I'll be happy. I think that's fulfillment for me.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. So I don't know. I don't know who is listening. I don't know who's listening. I don't know. Probably somebody. Probably myself. It might be DLM. It might be Joshua. It might be Peace. It might be somebody in our audience who's going to be a president one day. And if they need the minister who is the Nigerian first minister, please, Kendi Ayobade is the name. I don't think I've met anybody who loves and is so positive about Nigeria as much as Kenny. Honestly speaking, in everything in sports, you can't sit down with Kenny if Nigeria is playing. It's to me it can be very irritating. Like, it's been long that Nigeria has broke my heart. That was around
Why are you doing this to me now?
2004. I can't remember. Nigeria Mali then. My dad was a big fan. Was watching football. There was Okocha then, and the hopes were high. He was bagging. There was Okocha and the team. There was Kanu. Nigeria would do it. Nigeria would do it. And at the end of 90 minutes, they broke the man's heart, and I hated the way it made my dad feel. It felt so sad, very sad. I hated it, and ever since then, I really did not put so much interest in Nigerian football, because I don't want them to bring me to that kind of level they bought my dad in year 2023. So that's that about that. So this next question, so the questions we'll be sharing now, it will not be directly to anyone. If you have interest in talking about it, you can just raise up your hand. I can see it here. But this particular one, I'll direct it to somebody, and it's ADLM. The question is about funding, survival, and the invisible pressure that you feel that we don't see. So, members of our ConTech Nigeria community knows that one of the sweetest things I like doing that motivates me personally is sharing funding news around the ConTech ecosystem around the world. Like, last year alone, over $3 billion went into different ConTech startups all over the world. Unfortunately, none came to Nigeria. I doubt if any came to Africa. But then it interests me as I tell people that the problems of construction is the same worldwide. That means if someone can excel in this particular solution in Norway, for example, it just takes a little tweaking for him to be successful here in Nigeria. As long as you present a value, you understand. Then there was this particular day I shared the list of guys getting funding, $3 million, $5 million. He didn't have to message me because that message was born out of how these people take they get this money. I'm so sure it was he. I don't know what was going on in his mind, but that was how I read the message. He felt so bad because he knew he knows is at the point where he can get this funding, but he's not getting it. So you have to ask, "Taiwo, where are you getting this news for? Where are these guys getting this funding for?" So ADLM funding question, and it was from ADLM I first knew most people were starting. I think it was from ADLM using the word bootstrap that made me go and read about what bootstrap was about. So about this one will be go to the ADLM. When was the first time you realize money might run out if something did not happen immediately? ADLM, underfunding, survival, and invisible pressure. When was the first time you felt, Omo, if I no change the model, my approach to this, money might run out and I might be left stranded? Is ADLM there? ADLM, you are muted if you are talking. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Can you come up with? Can you Repeat the
Yeah,
question again.
we are talking
Sorry.
about funding, survival, and invisible pressure. You need money to survive, and when you're not surviving, there's a pressure from the outside world. We only see a DLM that is posting and running stuff. We don't see the invisible pressure that is coming from you surviving in the space, and the survival fight is coming from the lack of funding. So when for you, I'm sure you are bootstrapping definitely. Even someone mentioned, I think you should have mentioned too about bootstrapping. When did you realize? When's the first time you realized that money might run out, and what did you do?
Hmm.
ADLM do ADLM, you're not seeing your
Um,
camera, ADLM.
my camera.
Yes, now.
Don't you
Me,
want to see my ugly face?
imagine, I shouldn't be ashamed of myself. All the old founders no use camera, and I mean they use camera. God.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Very
that's a
motivates you.
lot actually, because um, basically when I started out as let's just forget it. Basically, then let's see how it goes. But at some point, it has to be refined because it's something I'm doing full time. And being self-funded, I've learned to price and reprice what we've been doing. So for when the name started out, when we built our first Plant Swift plugin, that was my first rodeo into plugin development and all. We used to price our plugins then as buy once, one time payment and all. Then I had to go through my research and they're like, there's no too sure what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, you price your thing once and it just goes like that and no one comes back most of the time. As long as it's even very good, by the time you make updates, there's no way you make money out of it. And being self-funded has taught me a lot of things when it comes to managing resources, people, and all of that. So by the time we started going into bigger development, there's the Revit plugin, the softwares, that's the rate gen software and all of that. It required more, and we need to get more money out of our system. So basically, we had to switch to subscription model. But even by the time we switched to, we're still looking at Nigeria because we're looking at the country. We find ourselves in an environment where everybody wants everything for free. People don't understand what it takes to build softwares. Ordinary website, go and ask a web developer how much you build a simple portfolio website for you. You'll be hearing billions of naira. Or Nigeria, you see a full software that is doing everything for you, they'll be like, yeah, come and give me and all of that. So we need to manage, we have to try and manage that kind of situation. And all the services we are using, subscription services from Microsoft to Google to every other platform we're using, the pricing are usually in dollars, they are in USD. So we have to like find a way to manage that on our end and reach a balance. We have to squeeze. You know, when you're squeezing something that
Yeah.
okay, let's still try as much as possible. And lucky enough for me, I code, so it's helped to reduce several of the external pressure that would have required in bringing in other people. And
Yeah.
God has blessed me with good people around me. I have my designer that has also been supportive from the beginning, and my other team members have also helped out in what we've been doing so far. So basically, we've been surviving, and we've been trying our best to survive and not give up. And pray our mindset in Nigeria change towards paying for technology at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's
Well
just
done.
some.
Well done, ADLM. Well done. Well done. Well done. So I think these questions on funding, survival, and invisible pressure, I'll keep it between ADLM and Kenny, because I particularly understand this area alongside Kenny. There's this particular question I have to ask Kenny that's kind of sensitive, and I hope it's not. I hope it will not make me cry, because I know some part of the story. So it's in 2 tiers, Kenny, and I want it to be fast. So the first is um how do you feel on days when you pitch to investors and they don't understand your context? I mean, when you get investors ready, there's this situation where Kenny and I went to an event I met some nice investors and we're like telling him that construction, we have to start speaking English, start looking for references. So Kenny, on those days where you pitch to investors and they don't understand your context, how do you live those days? Personally, for me, when I got on that day, me, I felt bad. I don't even remember the event we went to at at the beach on the island, at one resort center on the island, where you have to be
Oh,
shadowing for that
I
guy.
remember.
I remember.
I
And
remember.
the second question is one that I said will make me sad too. So, what are the
Okay.
sacrifices you had to make personally because your startup came first?
All right. So thank you very much. The first question. How do I feel whenever I speak to potential investors or people who I feel would buy into the idea
And you don't get
and
the
they did not?
context.
They did not get the context. First and foremost, it feels like we are we are in a hole in this construction. We are living under a cave.
Honestly speaking, honestly.
It feels like we are 50 years behind. You get the gist, and that's because our industry is very niche. You get, you can't be in construction if you have not gone to school for 5 years. That's just the truth. You must have spent 5 years in the university studying a construction related course for for you to understand anything going on in construction. It's a very technical industry. And so whenever you are talking to somebody who is not in that industry, it looks like gibberish. You get, because they can't really understand what is going on. Only yourself, myself, people who have like background or domain knowledge in the industry can really say, okay, this is where they can really see where the problem is. If you are telling them where the problem is, if anyone outside might not see. So a part of me understands that they are not in the industry, so it's going to be very hard for them to understand and to really buy into the idea. And the other part of me feels like, come on, even if you're not in this industry, you can see the potential. Like, for example, now you tell them that, see, this industry is still very much virgin. You don't see a lot of people building software or building tech in this space. A lot of people we are just users, we are consumers. We don't like creating. It's just like our second nature. It comes natural. But for the very few people that are building, you can count them. You can count them. And if you look around you, construction is your everyday thing. Come on, you go out, you enter keke. That keke drives you on a particular route. Which industry built it? It's construction. You are living in a house. Which industry built it? Every time building goes on, you'll be wondering which industry. You just think it's one abstract, the abstract people that comes and just build. No, there's a certain set of people. They are called construction professionals that pull this thing up. You get, and if there is such kind of market, if something like that is going on, it means that there is a huge market for tech to come in and solve problems. You get, but people don't see that because they don't have domain knowledge. So that question I'm going to answer it this way again, so that people can understand. First and foremost, I don't feel bad because they are not in that industry, in our industry. Secondly, I feel bad because they are not seeing the opportunity, even if we explain and break it down to them. Get the gist. So that's one part of that's the first question that you asked. Now the second question, what sacrifices did I have to make? Yeah, man, I would like to start like this. I think I was close to 90 kg as at the beginning of 2025, late 2024, beginning of 2025. Guess my weight now. I'm 75 kg.
Natural way to lose weight.
I've dropped my kgs. I think I've dropped by, let's say, 10 or more than 10 kg. If you lose 10 kg, it means that you must be intentional about losing weight for you to have lost 10 kg. Yeah. So my own kind of intentionality was not really. It was not. How would I put it? I say it was self-inflicted because of the situation. I had to get my developers. Of course, I thank God for the kind of team members I have. If like ADLM say, we are blessed with good people around us who are willing to support and understand the situation. But there are sometimes that you just have to, whatever you are using to feed, you have to use it to pay your developers. There's nothing you can do about it. So there are times you go hungry. There are sometimes 2 weeks I've not eaten anything good. Sometimes I was drinking Gary on a steady. You get, people would not tell you that, and they say entrepreneurship comes like that. That's how entrepreneurship is. But the truth is, We are not told. So it came as a shock. You get, yeah, and you're just seeing yourself drop weight constantly. You get, so a lot of sacrifices were made. A lot of sacrifices were made. Um, you you expected you were expecting some kind of support from somewhere, but they are not seeing it the way you are not seeing your business the way you see it. So you're not getting the maximum support you expected. So you are now having to rely on whatever savings you had. For example, I had to leave engineering, my daily bread, where I was seeing money and living my life like standard life. I had to leave engineering and I had nothing else coming in, you get. So I thought that okay, leaving engineering, I was going to get some kind of backup from some certain set of people, but I was not getting it as I expected. So I actually built hungry. I built what I was building hungry at some point. But we bless God that we've been able to see some good progress from what we've done. I think sacrifices, they're important. But at the same time, when you start seeing results, you kind of just forget it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that, Kenny. Wow, Kenny did not cry, but see, I had to just switch off my video at some point because I was already tearing up already, and
Yeah, yeah, boy.
I was. So thank you. So one thing that Kenny and ADLM stated that we kind of is about people and their team, and this will lead me to the next question. I hope either Thomas, Joshua, or Peace they're around. So we are talking about building building with people. Um, I must promise you, it takes people who actually see the dream as you see it to actually build with you. Unless you just work with guys that will frustrate your effort and in no time you'll be tired. So peace, are you there? Let me confirm if peace is there. Peace. I don't think peace is with us. Peace, if you are speaking, you are muted. Okay, let me just speak to Thomas. Joshua, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk about this question, this discussion. Kenny and Major Lem talk about their team. So far, so good. How have you been able to manage your team? You know, as I said earlier, it's a different thing to have a dream, and it's not a different thing to now sell the dream to guys that understand it and will help you build, not helping you. But we have to be candid here. The world is cruel. We've heard of stories of people who get into their building and the top and the top. So how have you managed working with people, especially at this early stage of your startup? Joshua?
Okay. So the first thing first is try to make sure that the people you are working with are sincerely interested in the startup.
Yeah,
Very important.
yeah.
They must be sincerely interested in the startup. Yes, there's the part of they might want to get paid. Now you have to be sure that they are not working with you just because of the money. They are working with you because of the interest of the startup. That's one. You know, if that is
Joshua,
there,
my fight there. Oh. Some people only work
if
for the money. Oh.
exactly for a startup, I feel like that's very bad for a startup,
Okay,
especially a startup in construction.
true, true,
Because the truth is the beginning part, the cash flow will not be constant.
true.
So first thing first, they have to have the interest of the company. Now, in having the interest of the company, another thing I've noticed is when the way I manage people, because like you said, I'm young, and if I even check my team, if I'm not the youngest, I'm probably the second youngest.
Wow.
So the vibe is we communicate ourselves in they call it Gen Z working space. You know, everybody's free with everybody. Say your mind freely. Nothing like just say your mind. You know, the truth is when people get to say their mind and they feel like okay, nobody came for them, they will actually like how will I explain it? There's this attachment that comes with it.
Yeah,
Once you do that attachment with your staff, trust me, you are fine.
true.
So the main thing is make sure they have the interest of the company. The second one is create a comfortable working space. It doesn't really have to be like a Gen Z working space.
Yeah.
Your own, just find out your own, what works for you and your staff, that everybody can say their mind openly, and trust me, you'll be fine.
Wow. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's very important. One thing I'm proud of, as I said, I've been working with Kenny, with KS, and ConTech Nigeria. I think one thing God bless Kenny with is the people. Yeah. You know, sometime last year, people I've seen people enter my DM that, "Ah, what was this guy giving you that? that you are breaking your head like this? Is it worth it? And on days where I even ask myself, why am I doing it? And those days I ask myself, why am I doing it? Those are the days I'm more motivated to do more. You understand? I think it's, as you said, it comes down to the place of the person the guys you are working with understanding the vision. I think God bless us at KS and ConTech, our team at ConTech. Everybody shout out to my guys at ConTech and ConTech Nigeria team and at KS guys. I mean, um, don't don't let me open our ears outside. It might look all good outside. You see the fanciful designs, you see the good plugins, you see. Well, hi. Don't let me say more than that. I don't know if Peace is around. Peace, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to get
Yeah,
my
I
device in
understand. I
order.
understand quite well. I understand
Sorry.
quite well.
I promise I'm not always like this.
Yeah.
All right, so about people, honestly, it is hard. I won't even lie. Like, like I said, I'm not a tech person,
You
right?
used to
So
say,
I'm not
oh,
a tech.
you
Please
used to
have
say,
to use
oh,
that more. Please drag that
Kenny,
more.
I had to. So I'm not a tech person, right? Anything coding, you won't see me there. And I realized that I know my strength. When it comes to the talking, when it comes to the writing, you find me there. But when it comes to computer stuff, where you have to, I'm in all those kind of, no, that's not my strength. And for what I want to be in an open house, I would need a lot of that. Now, to get the right kind of people on board requires money. And at this beginning stage of growing, money is not available. I mean, we tell someone, okay, bid for me. When I start getting investors, I'll pay you.
Yeah,
It doesn't work like
it does
that,
work.
right? So even when I've tried to gather the little I have and put into building with someone or having someone build for me, it did not end up really well so far. Although I've had some friends that come in from time to time to help me out. Finding people to work with you at this early stage of the vision is very difficult. And so far, I'm grateful for my friends that have people. You mentioned Damilare Ogunleke. He has
Yeah,
been very helpful from day one.
yeah,
I have friends that have come in that have been advisory to me, right? So giving me, okay, this is what you need to do tech wise. I know that it's not your strength, but I can help you with this. I can help you with this. I can help you with designs and so on. And I just know that I'll just keep pushing any way I can, what I have, and just keep moving forward. And with it, when there's a point where you would push your vision so that people will just join naturally. So I'm waiting
yeah,
to get to that sweet spot.
yeah.
But for now, it's still been a difficult,
Oh,
a challenging, right? Finding the right people to join the team. It's
yeah.
still been
So
quite
I'll just
difficult.
ask a question before we leave this session about building with people, trust and everything. On some days, yeah, we let me use examples here. On some days, you just have to let people go, even when you are not paying them. I mean, some people join your team and yeah, they want to do, and when they get in, yeah, sometimes they can be complete nuisance, and sometimes they're not just being nuisance. They're not intentionally being nuisance. Probably something come up, and you just have to let them know that guy. I think you have to go. How do you manage this?
So personally, so there was someone I got I think last year to help me build something for the event I'm planning. I'd paid over 60% of his people. All of a sudden, he told me that he cannot work on that anymore, and I was like, okay, how about the money I've paid? But I'm not the kind of person that will be dragging stuff. I was like, okay, it's fine. I just had to let it go like that because lessons learned, we move, right? I just know that these are challenges I'll face on the way. So if I have to let someone go, it happens. So I just let it happen, and I just believe that God will just, if one fails, another one will come, right? So
Definitely,
God will do His thing. He'll do His thing
definitely.
in His own time, and that's how I just manage it. I'm not too fixated on it must work this way, or you must be here. No, I just do my thing, and if others come and join in, fine. And if they want to go, and if they have to go, fine. So we move.
Yeah. Thank you for that piece. Yeah, managing people, I think is the hardest job in the world. Yeah. I attribute a lot of things I've done in the context space to Kenny. Yeah, because last year, okay, the year before, Kenny was very, very involved in what we were doing at Contech, and we actually, him being 100% available whenever it was a gift until last year where he had to split his attention between KS Digital and Contech, and he had to leave me and the team. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying I'm not downplaying our team members at Contact Nigeria. But then I used to tell Kenny, on some days I get angry. Ah, yeah, yeah. And I'll sit down. Why are you angry, Taiwo? I look at it. This person you want to tell to do this, how much are you paying him? Nothing. It's at his work. It's at the work that pay him. What should you now do? I'll not come down and say, okay, where would I start from? Then I'll do what I can do and we'll go on. But makes sense. Thank you about that piece. So it's no longer about ADLM voice. I hope ADLM is still with us. ADLM.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So this one goes to ADLM. The days you wanted to quit. Are there me I've had plenty days where I pack my CV. I'm going to UBA to go and submit. UBA like engineers like mad. I want to go start tell out for UBA be that. But are there days like that you experience that you've like, see, let me just stop this and just go and do what everybody's doing. Let me just leave the code. Let me leave the innovation. Let me just go and do what everybody's doing. I should have a career, become president of NIQS, and just let me just go. Have you had days like that? And how do you pick yourself up on days like that?
Ha. Almost like 1 million.
Your reaction they raise the off me.
Almost like 1 million. Because let me say, I still wanted to quit last week. This week as a Monday, Tuesday. I was like, I bet who send me message. Like, no, basically, when you are building for people that don't see the need for what you are doing,
Yeah.
you have to start explaining. Imagine you explain to somebody that has been doing his BOK for the past 40 years, using the manual ruler, take up sheets,
Yeah.
rope, and everything. I'm trying to explain to this person that thing has been working for the past 40 years. That, sir, I've built a solution to your problem. Who sent you message? Okay. Building can be funny. I won't lie to you.
Yeah,
And
I
fun
understand.
can be a whole lot, and people can be fun. Especially people you are building for. They're amazing people. Yeah, people are amazing, but it takes a whole lot to convince people that have been in the field for so long that, oh, this is what I'm doing. And then part of them also, they're trying to think of a solution to a problem that literally does not exist before someone else. There's nobody you're copying from. Let me use that word.
Yeah.
There's nobody that you say, okay, this person has built a QS solution or us in Nigeria before that.
I'll just
is
copy his
working.
model.
Just copy, I just see how it works for him. Now you are building your own model from the scratch. It's literally a whole lot of work. Everybody see online, ADLM is fine. Hey, we are posting, I'm launching new app, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
They don't know the fire that is burning under.
It's out of frustration. Kenny sometimes
Yeah.
I even call Kenny, at times I call Kenny, how far? It's how do you do this thing? How do you code this thing now? It can frustrate you doing something, but people will not see that journey. The very plugin that we built for Takeoff so far, I think it's over a year before we even pushed it out, the first version that even fully works out and everything. Now imagine a full year or a year and a half of coding, trying things out, debugging, facing bugs, and everything. And at the end of the day, you now start like there's a problem of coding, and there's not a problem of telling people that you built something and this thing will solve this problem, and they'll now be like, let's do it. Can we not get it for free? Like, if I was doing my QS salary job somewhere,
I just they go office every day, they kind of rule up and down.
I'll be doing my bill. Probably I'll be in one side, I'll do fiscal measurement and all of that. So people feel it's easy,
Yeah.
but trust me, it's not easy. But at the end of the day, you ask yourself, why did you start it? Like, why did you embark on this journey in the first place? You realize that there's this problem, and either ways, someone has to start.
Yeah, true.
Someone has to start solving this problem. Someone has to be innovative. I'm very happy that at least when I started out, there was nobody that was talking about QS software. That was back as 2019, 2020. Nobody was even doing QS software training. Now we have several young coin surveyors doing QS software training now. That is a plus. So at least we created a path that others can follow, that okay, we modeled something and it is realistic. There's proof of concept, like my product manager will always say, proof of concept. So there's proof of concept that okay, this thing is working, and people are also trading that part. So that's one of the things that has always kept me up there. Okay, one other thing that happened recently was in November BGM. there was someone that literally just walked up to me out of nowhere. As I like remember before BGM, I was like, you ask my guys around me, I will say I'm not doing it again. Like I'm going through a lot, but nobody is saying it. I'm like, guys, I'm not doing this thing again. They're like, okay, let's go to BGM. Let's shall go. Let's go. Then we got our stand and everything there. To the glory of God. And someone just tried to talk to me. I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you so much. You know, I don't know this man from anywhere. I've never seen him before. I was like, thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate. God bless you. This, that. So for the first time, I felt people.
Yeah.
I've always been behind the screen. I don't go out much. That's one bad thing about it. I don't put myself out there very much. I am always indoor most of the time. So for the first time, I came in contact with people that are even using these tools with builds, that are touching these tools. I'm like, I think it's like, thank you. Like, I had so much thank yous, and I was like, thank you, okay, Azal now. So those are things that just like, okay, fire on.
Yeah, makes sense.
Even though the money's not there,
people are seeing you. People are seeing you.
Yeah, and with time, we'll get to that point. So that's basically what has kept me going today.
Yeah. I promise you, people are watching. Thank God for our growth at ConTech Nigeria. At least towards the end of last year, we've had reasons to meet guys from ConTech ecosystems especially from Europe and North America, here to be precise. And the questions are always, what are the people you're contributing? Yeah, we are proud to say ConTech Nigeria is the first ConTech ecosystem in Africa. And by the time they look out for ConTech ecosystem in Africa, it's ConTech Nigeria they come to. And they'll ask, who are the guys building? There's a list of all of you, from Open House to KS Digital to ADLM, that we've created that. Anytime they ask, see, these are the guys building and this is what they'll do. So yeah, so I promise you, people are watching, and it's just a matter of time. And I'm so sure that it's very soon by God's grace. This next question, time is not on our side. I'll just rush it. Is about last year, pain and progress. I want to ask Kenny this question because I don't know. I've not known Kenny for a long time, but since when I've known him, I feel last year was kind of the toughest for him. I have to confess that. And I'm not only talking financially here, health wise, managing it. Kenny learned the most last year. Everything Professor Kenny did not teach you in structural analysis class. Kenny learned from life last year. So, Kenny, I want you to be honest with us. Come and tell us. Last year, what happened last year? The pain, and most importantly, the progress you've made from the pain.
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, last year we started building, like officially building what we now market, you get, what people are now using. So, so during the process of building, that's where the pain comes in, right? There are some details I can't put out there, you get. So it's a bit sensitive because it involves people and it likes. But at the same time, one of the things that I encountered was people telling me that you are building in the wrong market. You're wasting your time. It's not that you're building in Africa, just wasting your time. Like I got people from, as in people that are from Canada, from US, from this places, all of these places abroad. They will directly come and tell me that why are you wasting your time? Why you should leave that country and come to the US? Now you have all the skills and everything. Man, those words, they're like knife. Like you are stabbing me. That's just the phase one. The phase two of it, where I have to explain to the people I expected to understand me, understand how I want to build the company. It felt like as if they were not after the vision, they were after something else. I was trying my best to capture. I was trying my best to explain myself that this is what we want to achieve, but nobody saw it, didn't see it. So at some point, everybody just left me to myself. So that's when I had to start. When you start relying on people, you have this. Freedom. You have this freedom that is not real. You say, okay, I'm free to do this, until it comes back at you and say, come on, you're actually not free. This reliance would not help you. Yeah. So one way or the other, I felt like I relied too much and it affected our growth. I felt like I was going to get enough support from this or that, and I did not get it, and I was heartbroken. It affected the way I was building. It affected what we were doing. It even slowed us down in a way. I entered depression multiple times. I'm sorry I can't give certain details, but I'm trying to put perspective to everything. So that as well, and also the part of trying to convince some of your team members to do their work. You get the expectation is that, okay, I'm paying you something now. I'm expecting you to do this. There's this team member of ours, I'm not mentioning names, I'm not putting out any details, but you expect them that, okay, they come and say, okay, I am very good at this thing, and then come and do it now. You're doing something different, and you want to be collecting money for it. Like, they're all wrong now. It is very wrong. Like, how to now start taking up roles that I'm not meant to take up, and then you expect someone who is meant to be building with you is collecting some money, and the guy is stalling because if he's okay, you're paying him monthly. You will still collect this month's salary, you collect that month's salary, and he's not doing anything. You have to figure out that, okay, this guy is intentionally stalling. And then because of you giving this person a particular task to do, that task is actually affecting every other person's task. If the person does not move forward, other person cannot move forward. So we are now delayed because of this person's nonchalance. So all of those things were really affecting me. I know I faced a lot when it comes to things. There's so many things I can't even say. There's also one person that came around, the person somewhere abroad reached out to me and said he wants to buy me out. And what I'm building is rubbish. I'm not building anything reasonable, and I'm building the wrong place. Africa is a rubbish market. And the person's in Nigerian, but the person's abroad. You get Nigerian telling you that, what do you expect to? I said that I want to build this. I want your team to be the ones to do it. So like, you want to employ me, you want me to leave what I've been building, the entire vision, come and build for you, because I'm building rubbish. No, I had to face all of those. But like ADLM said, you have to remember what made you to start the whole journey. Yeah. For me, I knew that there was a market in this industry, and not just in this region, because it's not like as if the solutions we are building don't exist out there across as in outside of Africa. They exist, but the African market doesn't have such solutions at a big core. Because one, our economic realism don't allow us to purchase those kind of apps. Like Taiwo that is all into the business of selling softwares. Is one of the things he does. He told me that then the price of Autodesk collection recently then to how much against 6 point about how much 2.8 million naira per year per user.
It's millions. It's not millions. It's millions.
How much is the salary of an average, maybe architect, an average engineer that will be able to pay for one software and maybe Autodesk? Because now they can't really afford these things. You get the gist. And so because of that, it's obvious that people want similar softwares, but they want it cheaper. They want it more affordable. Yeah, and that's where we come in as founders. We are creating something that matches global excellence, exactly. But we are infusing local realities, local economic realities into it. You get the gist. So now let me talk about the progress part. After you've suffered and trusting that this thing will make sense, it will eventually make sense. And because let me just say this to everybody, even to our founders here, if you ask 10 people about a problem that they are facing, and about 6 or 7 of them confirm that yes, that problem is real, maybe they lament about it, they talk about it, let me tell you the truth, there's a market there for you. If it's a problem you can solve, 6 or 7 out of 10 people confirming a problem, that this problem is real. And you talk to them, they're seeing overlapping responses, similar responses. Let me tell you, there's a market there for you. If it is just one person and every other person saying, no, there's no problem there, we are okay with the way we are, there's really no market. But If it is about 6 or 7, that's like 60% or 70% of your research about that market. Let me tell you, you have a market. Don't look at your current situation. Don't look at whether people are buying it. Just believe that if you continue, you will see progress. It's gradual. We are all growing into success. Why most of the startups, why they call a startup is called a startup because it is growth oriented. It has to grow fast. A startup is called a startup because it must grow fast. So now the progress. We launched our platform in late October, maybe approximately just say November, early November. And it's barely 3 months since we launched. And we had numbers entering into close to 400 users. And the beautiful thing is that it cuts across, it's not just Nigerians that are signing up on this platform. We also have other countries across the world, you get. So when we did our analysis, we saw that 10 countries were represented across the number of users we have. 10 countries, and that's Africans and also countries outside of Africa. So now, I would never believe how we will get such traction as it seemed, like in that short period of time. But one thing that we saw was that whenever we spoke to people who needed solutions to that particular problem we are trying to solve, we could see that desire from them to solve that problem. Like once you see that there's a desire from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people out of 10 people that you talk to solve that problem they are facing, I'm telling you, there's a market there. So we saw that, and that for me, that's like my motivation that we are going to grow bigger than this. You might start, maybe you might just have 50 users. Let me tell you the truth, 50 users is a proof of demand.
Yeah.
It's enough proof of demand.
Yeah.
You get. So, and you can just start aiming higher. And then if you know how to package it very well and sell to someone who has the money, that's where boldness comes out. That still comes. You have to just speak to people. That's one thing I did this entire week that passed. Just passing out. I spent it speaking to companies. That's all. I was just picking numbers and I was just calling. I didn't care whether they would say yes or no. I was calling.
Yeah,
And guess
for
what?
Yeah.
I was scheduling meetings. And I scheduled those meetings. I demoed our products to them. And all of them were just like, wow. I went to companies. I entered companies this week. It's like this thing, it takes audacity. Once you have built, be audacious about it.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think that's where you see progress. When we and we had 90% success rates. The 10%, those ones were because of they don't just want to move forward. You get, just like DLS said.
Thank you.
They are stuck.
They are stuck in stone age. You get. So that's basically so. We thank God for progress, even in the pain.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kenny. We had the words of truth. I do back that I don't know, probably I was made for ConTech because I don't know if it's luck or something. I've been able to play. I've been able to play in the space of innovation. That's the guys that build, the coders, developers. I've been able to play in the guys that sell software. I mean, I work with an Autodesk Bentley reseller here in Nigeria, and I've been able to play in the area of distance design and construction, the guys in the office and people on the site, and I've been able to see what was happening in all three spheres, and I've been convinced. I've been convinced. There's this question I was meant to ask before I ask Kenny. Probably something we'll talk about. Probably someone will write a post among the founders about it, and how difficult it is to sell to investors something that is glaring. I mean, to actually get the data, I can't get it. It's private to me. I can't open off. I mean, companies data to you to get the content, the idea of what I'm saying. Some of the founders can write to all these software companies, talk about CDSS, talk about Costech, talk about number of things like that. You can go to Autodesk website and look for Autodesk partners in Nigeria and call them and ask how many invoices do this, how many quotes do people request for, how many invoices go out, and how many people come back to pay. You'll be surprised at how much we are suffering in the area of software and technology and innovation in part of the world. And meanwhile, we need it. There's actually a need for it. There's a value for it. I mean, there's a value. So the hard work is, I don't know why it is difficult to actually capture the mind of these investors. I really give Kenny serious. What did the MC Olomo call the other day? Kudus. I give Kenny plenty kudus. Because some days I will just be vexed. I mean companies that they've sent put requests, we send them like 50 million in software. They'll just disappear. Pew! Then you see somebody like KDLM or Joshua or Kenny walk up to you that see this thing does this. Let's do. And I don't understand that part of it, but I hope everything gets sorted out. And this will take me a question to Peace. Peace, are you there with us?
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
so Peace, I want to talk about the future of hope. Yeah, we've had scars. We've all of us we've gone through our individual issues building what we are building. I want to talk about the future you see in this space, both in ConTech and PropTech. The future where I want to talk about the future of investments, especially in the area of getting funded to do all these things. Because apparently, we can't do what you are doing without money. Spoke about trying to employ somebody. Imagine you working to feed yourself and still working to pay somebody. It's crazy, crazy, honestly. What do you see as the future? What do you think needs to change among the mindset of investors, mindset of people? What do you wish investors understood? Please.
Okay, so I'll begin by sharing a data that I found online, I think from one of the UN analysis. And it says that by the year 2050, 1 in 4 people globally will be African. So like I like to say, the future is Africa. Yes, in terms of the investment, in terms of investors, in terms of fundings, I raised this $1 million in funds. You're not seeing a lot of that now in our space.
Not yet.
But the future is Africa. That is guaranteed.
Yeah.
So for those of us, Kenny, ADLM, sorry, Kazim, I don't know, is it Kazim or Kazim?
Cousin.
Kazim, yeah, Kazim, Thomas, even you too, Taiwo, what was
So,
currently building and
Yourself,
finding it. You are doing a very good job. Your community management skills is top notch. I have to give you that. Well done. Well done.
thank
So for
you.
those bidding now, this is the early stage of adoption. It's quite shaky now, but we do know that it's guaranteed. The future is Africa. So what I know is that it's still going to get to us. It's just a matter of us weathering the storm now, us being all resilient and gritty about it. Just anyhow, shall we shall they run out, shall they do because eventually it will still come to us. In fact, with the way it's going, we will not be the ones going to them eventually. They'll be the ones coming for us
Yeah,
and
they are,
wanting
they
to
are
spend their
coming.
money
I
on us.
promise you, they are coming gradually.
Yeah, they are. They are. So I just see it as a stage, this phase now where, like Kenny said, they want to buy you off and all because they see value in what we are building now. So it's just phase by phase. And the truth is that for every new development of technology, there's always this pushback for adoption, right? So it's normal. I mean, the AI is here now, it's doing a lot of things. I mean, it's making our life easier. But there's some people that are pushing it back, that they are saying that they don't want their anti-AI adoption.
Yeah.
These are trends that have shown that it will still come and it will just be everywhere eventually. So we are coming. It's coming for us, and the future is Africa. That's all I can say, right? It's coming. The money will come,
The money
Kenny.
will
The money will
come. Yeah,
come,
the money will
ADLM.
come.
The money would come,
Kenny,
Thomas.
you touch that
And
90
I
kg
totally
again.
believe that.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we
Thank
could
you.
choose
Yeah,
eventually. I
thank
mean,
you. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Touch
It's
what?
that things I love to hear, honestly.
What is
That
it?
things.
What is it with
Say,
God?
you touch that 90 kg again, you will touch it.
Amen. Oh, amen. Oh. Can I contribute something? Can I also contribute something very
Okay,
quick?
okay.
Can I quickly contribute to what Peace, you really killed it there, to be honest. That's starting up with data is the best way to approach such kind of question you get. And you are very right. 25% of the world will be Africa in the next few years, you get. And one thing I would like
Proud
investors to
African.
know, if anyone yes, so proud Africans, if anyone is actually looking at invest in. See, most people don't understand the power of emerging markets. Get power of emerging markets, markets where that has been untapped, market that has potential, but nobody's really tapping into that potential. And maybe some people are showing little traction in such markets. Most investors these days, they are not looking for, if you follow these visits, they're not looking for potential. They are looking for results. They're looking for numbers. They are looking for numbers. Let's see that, okay, you have started making profits. And sometimes most of us, we actually need people to believe in us before we start making profits. You get?
Yeah.
We need people that will allow us to grow into becoming that kind of company that will make huge millions for the investors. But now, we hardly see people like that. But one thing I'm going to let investors know is that, see, emerging markets is the real deal. And it's in the market, especially construction market will keep increasing. The market will keep widening as each year goes by, because you can't stop construction, you can't stop building, you can't stop creating roads, you can't stop infrastructure. It's as this world, as new spaces, new bushes are cleared, you get new houses will come up.
You know, I was reading one.
Infrastructure will come up.
I was studying one data sometime last year, although I could not confirm it. That's why I did not make it public. Apparently, after the financial industry, the construction, everything construction, including real estate, the business of real estate, the business of construction, is the next industry where money moves the most. And there's this belief I share with people. I think is places where money moves the most. That's where problems are. And as long as you can provide value to those problems, solutions to that problem, you just take your cut of the big cake. You are solving a problem that will reduce 20% of your waste or 50% of your time. People will pay. People will pay. I know guys are listening to me, they'll be used to the story of telling you that if I have an unbelievable project and you're proposing a solution that will save me say 30, 40 million, I'll jump on you. I'll jump.
All right.
Start me 20 million for it. Just let me save money for it. So Joshua, are you there?
Sorry, before Joshua goes, I want to just say something, please.
Okay.
To make things easier for yourself as a founder, you just need people that can really help you in that journey. To be honest, all my life, I'm always very thankful for Taiwo. In my next life, I'll be thankful for Taiwo. If Taiwo was not in the picture, I'm sorry, but I would have had P-leg.
I'm blushing.
Keep forgetting.
I'm blushing.
You need to have.
It can't be a Kenny without the Taiwo now.
They can't be a Kenny. Oh, one.
Wow, that was FD.
This guy is a real deal. Like, is a real good. And see, if you guys want to really want to, how do I put it, climb certain ladders, there are certain people you need to carry along with you, people that believe strongly in you, to like die hard, and they will be telling you sorry when you're crying. That's Taiwo for you. You need to have people like Taiwo, because this guy is going to grow very big in this industry. I'm very sure. So just to say, just go and find your own Taiwo. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, I'm blushing here.
I'm not sharing mine.
I don't want to hear that they are kidnapping Taiwo in Lagos. So I don't want to hear. So Joshua, so this question I kept it specifically for you because I picked the parts. Joshua, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I picked the part where you found a need to build, and you said people looking for prices of materials and the stuff, and you could not find any until you started building. So even at that, it's a need, but I don't know if you've hit 10,000 users yet. I don't know.
Amen. we will get there.
But then it just does not make sense because it's actually a need. So the question I have for you and about the realistic future is, what do you think must change first for tech adoption, especially local innovation, tech adoption to scale, and what industry habits do you think needs to die?
So one industry habit that needs to die is the fact that there's something I say, try and test. Now they've tried this traditional method, it's working. They are seeing the flaws. It is obvious that these flaws is a big problem, but they are afraid to try another method. They are of the view that the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. So I feel like that's that's something that really needs to change.
Yeah, true. So the other one, okay, I think you use one store to kill two birds. The tech adoption to scale. So the idea of um this does not work, this work. Use it. Use it. For heaven's sake, use it. Yeah, we'll get there definitely. You know, there's this joke. I do tell even guys I meet from other countries, I will meet in context spaces. I do tell them that the concept of buying software or buying technology, a Nigerian professional can never in this world, probably after he entered the industry, can never get used to it. Why? Because it was built, it was trained not to buy software. So it's so bad. So when I got my job at CDSS, I did not know as an Autodesk partner, they will give me access to my own software, paid software. I don't crack AutoCAD go. I don't even, my default setting was that this thing has to be free. I don't crack AutoCAD, crack civil thing. You know what the crack reach me? Oh, I know they crack, quack, quack, quack. So as I started the job on that Monday, by Tuesday we just got mail from Autodesk, quack, quack, quack. Mr. Fisher, somebody is using projected software in your company, blah, blah, blah. Who they? You're like, don't be so now they do for you. I say, no, don't be so. Don't be so. Yeah, I think we are at a stage, and we are starting seeing it, especially for us that we are deep into the business of Autodesk software and the like. These guys are beginning to go to the cloud. They are done getting your data. In fact, I even have a theory that they allow us to use AutoCAD, especially AutoCAD and all those softwares. They allow us crack it to market their product, because apparently now AutoCAD is the most used CAD software. In fact, you rarely see anywhere that use, if you bring Bentley MicroStation, you want to keep people, it's AutoCAD or nothing. So tomorrow, if AutoCAD knows that there isn't CAD software, may nobody feel saying they're invisible. They know, they know everything. Autodesk know. So if tomorrow they choose to phase out all CAD software, where would that leave us? And that's why I appreciate our innovators today, because they are making us ready for tomorrow. Because I know the next 2 3 years, ADLM can instruct, reconstruct, open house. I know they'll be ready for when they abandon us. They'll be ready for the time they abandon us. When
By
it
God's
does that,
by God's grace. So,
you either give us money or you give us $10,000 or you don't use it. Then we'll now say, okay, no fuck. We have ADLM, we have can instruct, we have reconstruct, we have open house. Yeah. So I envision that time. So ADLM, it's longer about your voice. Ecosystem reflection. The content Nigeria ecosystem was basically built. A big respect to Kenny too. When Kenny suggested that we started this ecosystem in 2024, it was born out of, yeah, being Nigeria. He only knows of himself and a few guys that are playing in the space. I'm like, why can't you just build a community, an ecosystem where even these people can't do this thing? We'll start mentoring them. Kenny started mentoring me on all these things since early 2024, January 2024. I remember. Is it January 2024? Yeah, January 2024. And he said, yeah, so you can have more of this from discussion, people start learning, and that's why we are praying to take Contact Nigeria to a time where we'll partner institutions, university polytechnics, pick the tech, even if it's not even necessarily tech skill, because apparently content creation is now gaining grounds, even in construction now. Different things that are everything going on in the world is going on in construction. It's just how much you can package yourself. So ADLM concerning ecosystem, what do you think the contact ecosystem, not even Nigeria generally, it might even be Africa, it might even be reconstruct community. What do you think the ecosystem needs more of? Talent, standard, trust, collaboration policy. What do you think the ecosystem need more of? The contact ecosystem. ADLM.
Yeah. Okay. From my perspective, so far, I think we where we are now currently, especially in terms of contact and especially taking the AEC and all of that. I think at this any stage, we should be looking at collaboration for founders. We should be looking at more collaboration and talent pipeline, because what we are doing is still very new, and founders need to probably collaborate on technologies we are building and collaborate with professional bodies also, because I would like to you, we really need the professional bodies on our side. it was until last year I understood the effect of having your professional body on your site. And thank God for the leadership of the past leadership of the Nigerian Second Surveyors and the current leadership led by QS Dr. Adam. We've been able to forge methods and systems ahead where we can easily reach out to members of the institute on the use of digital tools. Also, the academia, also, they are the ones funding, channeling new construction professionals. Most of them will use the aspect of quantity surveying as my part because I'm a quantity surveyor also. So, like this January, we've had to go to Jabu to train, and OAU has always been a very good partner, which we are still looking at new ways to improve. And OAU QS Lab is one of the best QS lab in Nigeria currently powered by
The
ATL.
test back.
So so that's to show that we are leading, IFE is leading the forefront, and other universities are also coming along to improve their workflow, their teaching, and all of that. So basically, when we have founders collaborating with the professional bodies and the academia, professional bodies reach out to current users of your softwares or current professional members, while the academia helps to inform upcoming professionals that okay, you don't have to have a crack mindset. There are digital tools that are available for you, and you sparing less than 10K for subscription per month is something that they would have built into them from the university days down into when they start practicing. So it's always very, very important for us to collaborate with those aspects. Then looking at talent pipelines also, internship, apprenticeship, product-minded trainings and all. Now, we need to look at, okay, when people come from, there are people that will say, oh, don't come and do IT at ADLM and everything. I'm like, ADLM is not a normal QS firm, it's more of a tech. And this thing. So I'm not doing the normal quantitative all of that you expect
Yeah,
from school. You need
yeah,
to have something else extra, like probably you have a
yeah,
dev skill or you have a content creation skill or something extra that would make you
yeah,
survive with the tech industry.
yeah,
So that way we're having new talents coming up also that okay, people are now product minded. We now have people that wants to build, that are thinking of okay, how do they collaborate? How do they do things out of the box of what they were taught in
yeah,
school or
yeah,
normal 9 to 5
yeah.
jobs? You see people that say, oh, they want to leave their job to work at my office today. And I'll be like, if you leave your job after that, you suffer. It's
Don't
not
worry,
that
they'll get used to it. Don't worry, they'll get used to it.
it's not, they should not put their mind there that it's
Yeah,
still very new, it's still very, very, very new, and we're trying to gain ground in the industry, Nigeria, Africa. And at the end of the day, the vision is basically to export our tools to the world. The same way we are importing Autodesk tools and all of that. We say maybe we get to
sports.
that point where we
Yeah,
export to the world that
Nigeria to
Nigerians
Morocco,
are
Morocco to
providing
Spain.
solutions. So those are
Yeah,
things we are looking at the end of the day. So basically, I still stand with what we need more of is collaboration and more talent pipelines that will help the
yeah,
AEC and content industry move forward.
yeah. Thank you, DLM. On our part two, at Contact Nigeria, as I said, we are an ecosystem. We are looking at the future where this we actually will be that place where we fix these issues of collaboration and tech pipeline. We had positive results from last year. A number of institutions we visited, and they are willing. So we are just at the process of defining a framework because it's important. Because as I'll say, people don't like me saying it. A framework where if Taiwo disappears today, there's a framework that you should follow. Okay, this is what is meant to happen. This is where our engagement with OAU. This is how far we've gone. This is how we'll continue. So we'll continue this year too. It's hard. I have to confess, it's extremely hard. Extremely hard. Especially when you do these things without anybody's paying us. It's actually, and that's why it's when people crazy sometimes at time you are putting so much. Who is paying you? I actually want to see personally for me. I want to see a thriving ecosystem. I saw a lag. I saw a lag in a particular skill last year. For someone who has a lot of ideas, I was able to mentor teams in competitions. I saw that I was lacking product management skill, and I had to enroll into one product management course with you this year, hoping to um use the idea of product management to entice guys, especially young people. Young people are my target, students are my target in construction. Yeah, plenty people have ideas. I promise you, a lot of people have ideas in various regards. You can bring them in. If it's to arrange courses, if it's to partner with ADLM for internship. Okay, these guys have learned this thing. Oh, yeah, go and do 3 months with ADLM on building this particular plugin. So go and take a skill with open house with this, or you go to reconstruct for this, or you go to KS Digital for this. This is what we hope to see in the not too distant future at ConTech Nigeria. And to also ensure that we don't keep it to our Nigerian self, we are also looking at collaboration with international bodies. These guys are ahead of us, whether we like it or not. These guys are ahead of us, and I'm so glad with the number of meetings we have with them. Due to they're actually interested, as Pete said, probably they've seen the data, they've seen how much the future is African. Because the question of what are the context startups in Nigeria, it's getting, I keep on getting them very well now, very well now. And in no time, I promise every one of us, by God's grace, we'll start taking the rewards of being the pioneers of this. So before we let everybody go, I think we've eaten too deep into our time, and I have to apologize to everyone we see on this call. I want the four of us to actually share one sentence that matters before leaving the call today. One sentence that matters. What sentence do you think matters that somebody in the audience or someone that will watch this recording on Monday, on Tuesday, or in the next 10 years, what sentence do you think matter that you can share with them? Who should I start with? Someone has not spoken in long. Okay, let them talk. Okay, Kenny, one sentence that matters.
Yeah. I think one sentence for me is that just do it. Close your eyes and do it. Like, as in block out every idea of impossibility that might be preventing you. So most of us have this imposter syndrome thing. We feel okay, whatever we are doing might not be enough or might not be good enough. But just do it. I've discovered just this past few weeks that if you're audacious enough to ask for what you want, I'm telling you, we get it. The chances of you winning will be very high.
Yeah.
Just do it. Those things that scare you, just do it. Close your eyes, do it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, peace. One sentence for our audience before we leave here. One sentence I think when they watch this video 10 years from now, they'll be able to hold on to it.
So for me, to the ecosystem, I would say that rather than complain about the problems, look at it as an opportunity and find a way to solve it, because success is guaranteed if you stay on it for the long term.
Yeah. Thank you for that, peace. Thank you for that. Joshua, one sentence you leave the audience as we leave here today.
I would say there's always a way you can do it. Just do it regardless.
Always the way. Well, I like that. Thank you, Joshua. My Oga Pata Pata EDLM. One sentence for our audience.
Okay. So basically, I would say the product is half of the job, and the other job is actually changing the habits. Because, like I said earlier, we have people saying they've been practicing for 30 years. Why do I need your software? Why should this software? Why do I need to pay for something that will make my work easier? Or make my life easier? So you need to make sure or find a way for them to change their habits and adopt technology. Thank you.
Thank you, ADLM. Thank you, ADLM. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for joining us. It's a real privilege. I promise you, these guys are very busy people. I'm sure Peace had to reshuffle her schedule because when I approached her about this, I knew the way she replied. She had a lot of things figured, but she just felt yeah, she had to be there, and I so much appreciate it. It's something dear to my heart. Up until last week, I knew we'd do a webinar, but I didn't even know what it's gonna be. And this just came to me while I was sitting. I was like, wow, this makes sense. Let's bring these guys together. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let's whoever wants to be inspired, be inspired. Whoever wants to invest, should come and invest. And they just feel good. Just guys having a nice time together, sharing their hearts and all. So we'll be doing webinars like this as we go into the year, once every month. Next month, we have plans to bring a friend of ours from India ConTech. He's the founder of Last Week in ConTech, a media, some content media company that I go to whenever I need content news, something about startups and the like. He started how he did start too. It was a necessity. He went to go into contact and he found I figured out there was no data, there was no contact data anywhere. Nobody's saying about funding and things are happening. Things are happening and they started it and it's someone I owe dear to my heart because of what he does because yeah, his newsletter comes to me every Friday. You can check him out last week in contact by background. I can't pronounce the other name, it's Indian. But he should be here next by February. And my good friend Lewis Alisa from AEC Tech Jobs. What Lewis does is basically share AEC Tech job, remote and physical job from around the world, from product management to product design to UI UX to backend skills you don't even know people need in remote and so he shares jobs like that. Next, we want to bring him by March to come and talk about um how the content ecosystem in Nigeria and Africa is ready to actually take these jobs. And that, as I've said earlier, we need them. We need to learn from the guys over there to build for us there.